Yes, sir. Mod Tricker, back up in this thing, man. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at the LA wildfires of what the mainstream media won't show us. But before we hop into that, I just want to send my thoughts and prayers out to anybody who's been impacted by this. This is a true tragedy. There's also a link in the description where we can all donate and help support emergency aid. But with that being said, guys, let's get straight to the video.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up, boss? Appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor,
The cat must got her tongue because she just went full mute. She'll be wasting her time if she tries to run for re-election.
Californians suffer through unprecedented drought. One billionaire couple owns a massive share of the state's water system, seized in a series of secretive meetings 2 decades ago. That system was largely paid for by the very taxpayers whose water these billionaires hold hostage. Urban water systems are desperate for water, but in 2023, they'll receive just 5% of what they requested from the state. The Resnicks are the biggest farmers in California. As of 2007, they owned 4 San Francisco's worth of farmland. And nearly half of Americans buy at least one of their products. Their pistachios, their pomegranate juice, their mandarins, their flowers. It's all under one massive umbrella, the Wonderful Company, a privately owned company worth at least $5 billion. The majority owners, the Resnicks, are worth at least $8 billion. How were they able to take over such a large percentage of what should be a shared public resource?
This couple is sitting on the majority of California's water, and there's barely enough water to fight these fires.
There is a drone posted in the sky right there. I don't know what is going on out here. This is crazy.
Hopefully this drone is there to just monitor the situation, but these days, I don't know.
So today we're gonna hit on the fires in California, and the sky's looking like this, and some weird things about it. So first we start with the unusual dryness. Well, that's because this cloud seeding program, which was augmenting rainfall, stopped. So California got really dry really quick. And before anybody says they wouldn't do it, here's 687 patents on augmenting the weather. Then there was another reporter who talked about how the firefighters have no water at all. Isn't that kind of odd? The other weird one was, look at this fire. It's on one side, and that's on the other, but it's not on anything in between. The other odd part is all these cars blocking the roads. Everybody just got out, started running, which makes no sense, and blocked the roads. And then there's all these videos of the fire jumping from house to house, but not burning anything in between. Check this out. Lawsuits claim faulty PG&E smart meters started their house fire. Could this be the culprit? Then I was doing some more research on smart meter fires. Look at this. Just pops up. Tons of them. Interesting. So then I decided to look up what's in the smart meter, and check this. Lithium batteries, just like those Teslas which were left out on the street. And when they catch fire, the firefighters can't put them out. Isn't this kind of interesting? Then I decided to go way back to the San Francisco fires. Remember when the tops of the buildings only burned, but everything else remained? Check this. San Francisco gas light merges with PG&E. It's been going on for a long time, it seems.
This is extremely odd timing to just mysteriously stop cloud seeding. Any other time they'll be doing it non-stop. He just laid out way too many coincidences to just be a coincidence.
What's up? Time for a nightly news rundown. Let's get into a couple things. Out the gate, we should talk about California, obviously. So one thing I wanted to talk about that I've been thinking on, all these videos of the arsonists, right? Now all of a sudden it's becoming clear that some of these fires have been set intentionally. You know what's interesting about that is that makes it easier for insurance companies to deny claims yet again, because it's no longer an act of God, it's arson, right? Which is a very different thing. Furthermore, are you aware that Las Vegas is going to become the next Hollywood? Yeah. A couple days ago, Warner Bros. Committed $8.5 billion to upgrade their Las Vegas production studios. Now, what do we think of the timing on that one? What do we think of the timing on that one? I'm gonna be digging into that side of the story more. And also, we got UFOs in Ontario. I'm gonna make another video for that.
I heard insurance companies in California stopped covering fire damage, but I wonder if that also includes the Hollywood film studios. If not, then that's very convenient. They'll be getting a check to move to Las Vegas.
I had to see it to believe it, and I've seen it, and I believe it. So the city of Angels actually did have a plan similar to the island. So what came after the incident on the island was this, okay, people? And they seem to have done a pretty good job. Like I said before, the city of Angels had a plan too for 2028. A whole vision, in fact. A whole new vision. And what comes with that vision is infrastructure. Lots and lots of infrastructure. I mean, there's a timeline. But like I said, remember about the island and now the city of Angels. Let me just tell you, it is hard to build a whole new infrastructure when you have a well-established city of Angels. But when something happens like what happened on the island, these plans can become much more achievable.
Hearing that there is plans to turn your city into a smart city is like impending doom. At what point does it stop being a conspiracy theory?
All right, I told you guys, this is Maui 2.0 right here. Cars completely melted into the ground. Yet the leaves of the trees right above these cars, right above the car, still intact, still fine. The bushes, fine, right here. The car is melted into the ground, just like Maui. We've been telling you guys that something is fishy here. We know what's going on. If you don't see this, then you are an NPC. This is the Maui aftermath. You're going to see the same aftermath in LA. You're going to see the cars that are absolutely melted into the ground. This does not happen. Here's the aftermath from LA. These completely pulverized structures, yet this blue bin, untouched, not melted whatsoever. Melting steel cars into the ground, yet not a recycle bin. Makes sense. You know, I've seen a lot of cars completely burnt on the side of the road, exploded, and the aftermath of these cars a lot of times in my life, and I've never seen something ever melted into the ground. This is in Maui. Look, blue car, not burnt. Only car on the road, not burnt. Blue umbrellas, not burnt. At this point, it can't get any more obvious. You have to be completely programmed and brainwashed and not see what is going on here. Completely obvious what's happening.
See, in the midst of 20 homes that are just totally destroyed, one home sitting there because they have the right roof on.
They literally tell you right to your face what they're doing. If you don't know what's going on, you need to look into some of this stuff because this is what's going on. It's time to expose this truth.
If the Sherwin-Williams website crashes due to too much traffic, then we know why. Blue paint is about to be a precious commodity after this. These fires are so tragic, even the ETs had to get a closer look. This is wild.
I don't know what this was. It goes from the right to the left, and then it sat there for a second. Well, no, it sat there for, after it got there, it just sat there. Rewind it. It just goes across the stream. And then it just sits there. And you hear the reporter says something about a fireball. She goes, "Is that a fireball? That was a fireball or something." It wasn't a fireball. They're way far away from the fire. And if it was something from the fire, it wouldn't have stopped. And whatever that is stopped and sat there. I have no clue. And I stopped it right after I saw that, so I didn't get the reporter, but she goes, right after that, she goes, "Oh my God, there's a fireball." It's way too far away from the fire to be coming from there. And then if it was an ember or whatever, they don't stop. They would keep going, moving in the wind.
If there's any reason to ever watch the news, it's because sometimes they slip up and air the best footage of unexplained phenomena.
How are they throwing gasoline?
There's no good explanation to justify this. They delivering gas cans like FedEx in broad daylight.
He like swipes the card, and then after it goes through, he goes, just so you know, it's a monthly charge. Yeah, okay. He told me after, and he was like, look, you can cancel all.
I think this is a down power line due to the strong winds, but seeing this outside of your house during a wildfire would make me nervous.
I think the craziest and the saddest part about the fires in Los Angeles is the timing of everything. A lot of people are saying they lost their insurance not too long before the fires. Just take a look at what James Woods says. He says in his neighborhood, about 4 months before the fire, one major insurance company canceled all the policies in his neighborhood. Just take a look at this picture of Pacific Palisades. Average cost of a home there is $3.4 million. Now, how about the timing of the cut of the fire department's budget? They cut more than $17.5 million about 7 months before these fires started from the fire department. And they were saying that they were severely understaffed and they didn't have enough resources to fight these fires. And then the $1 million question comes around. How the heck did these fires even start? And there are hundreds of conspiracies circulating around social media, but I have a question, and a lot of people have this question too, because I saw a lot of videos saying the same thing. It got so hot that the people who abandoned their cars, it started melting. Like the metal started melting down the street, but the trees around these cars looked fine. How is that even possible?
Insurance companies stopped covering fire damage, but I wonder if they lowered those monthly premiums. Doubtful.
Okay, this is live satellite feed. We've got synchronized flashing of the street lights around the whole area here. This is our chopper going back out to the wildfires in LA. I'm getting the raw broadcast from an old satellite dish. Look at this. I'm live on it right now. So we do have, I think one other camera that's not very good, but this is the chopper going back out there again at 1:20 a.m. Pacific time, now January 9th. I don't know if they're signaling that's all an evacuation area. Anyway, you saw it here first. Live 1.5 seconds ago.
This is just like all the lights flashing during the mass drone and orb sightings. I wonder if it's connected.
So this man's walking around and he sees a part of a liquefied, now solidified, melted metal action from this car. Many people are already going to be thinking that would be a pretty hot fire, which it would be. So there must be a forest right nearby that's burnt. Oh, not really. Now, in this book, Where Did the Towers Go? There was a parking lot, and it was, they called the toasted car park, because almost every single car in this parking lot got toasted. And it was near the towers, makes you wonder. But the strange thing is that you'd have images like this, where the outside of the car is toasted, the paint is melted off, but inside plastic and vinyl still is intact. Same thing with this, toasted exterior, but unburnt upholstery, unburnt seatbelt, plastic molding. And it's all about the strangeness of what happened to some of these cars on 9/11. Makes you wonder.
The melting point of plastic and rubber, which is what most car dashboards are made of, is actually much lower than aluminum, so the entire car should have been destroyed. This is strange.
What in the world? The firemen don't have hoses, so they're like literally using purses? Women's handbags? Filling up women's handbags to put out fires. Look at this. What in the world? LAFD fire department using women's handbags to put out fires. What is going on here? Have you guys ever seen this in your life? Look.
Maybe they didn't have enough time to deploy the hoses, but this is what it looks like when your mayor randomly cuts funding for the fire department.
Eucalyptus. This tree.
Eucalyptus trees and eucalyptus groves are everywhere in California. Planted by the millions by early settlers, eucalyptus trees remain a defining feature of California's landscape, despite a well-known and sadly well-documented history, including the devastating Oakland Hills fire, of being highly flammable.
Can't even use the wood for lumber. They use them for paper. Huge L brought over by colonizers during the gold rush.
Planted forests of eucalyptus in the countryside of São Paulo state. They belong to Suzano Pulp and Paper, Brazil's biggest producer of cellulose, the raw material used to make paper product.
You guys always wonder why I say eucalyptus. Look at this. They are so scary, they fall from wind easily.
Dozen largest trees that fell yesterday. One was a pine tree. The rest, take a look behind me. They all looked similar to this one. That's a eucalyptus tree.
And his redwoods are fine, of course.
The early settlers who planted these definitely didn't think this one through. They were just doing anything back then.
Hey, Hollywood. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you, Hollywood, have believed what you have believed. And now look at you. All that money and power and influence, and yet still you cannot survive. The difference between who and where these Hollywood people are at now is the difference between looking in the mirror and knowing one's self truthfully or not.
Hopefully this will make at least a few of them slow down on all the black magic and rituals, because it's clearly not paying off.
Never, ever, ever seen anything like this. I've living here for 6 years. There's so much smoke that it is blocking the sun. You can actually see it.
I've never seen a sunrise that's so beautiful and terrifying at the same time. It's definitely possible that they all started at the same time, but knowing that direct energy toys are a thing, you never know. Hopefully that's just the blown transformer.
There's gonna be these explosions that lead to fire that burns evidence. There's gonna be 2 new whether they're fake or...
If she predicted that on January 1st, then she might be the new Nostradamus.
Is this purple thing right here? You tell me. What the is going on? It's spinning.
Is that?
And then watch when I pan over here in a second. And this is all live screen footage from Los Angeles. And then what is that, bro? What is that?
The orbs in California might not be as chill as the ones in New Jersey.
Coming in, the Palisades is our neighbor, Topanga, Mandeville Canyon. We really want to welcome everybody into our city, and also for our residents here who are being evacuated, we want to make sure that they see us there with those that are receiving them at these shelters. So I plan to be wherever I need to be, welcoming people and continuing to push out information. We're asking people to follow our social medias, City of Santa Monica Instagram handle. All of us have our own Instagram handles as well. We'll be sharing that information. But santamonica.gov is the best place to go right now to click on all the links and get air quality reports, evacuation updates, and more information on the fire.
Again, also helpful, and before I let you go, a final moment here, Mayor Negretti. These evacuation orders, again, feel so surreal. I'm sure to you, as you mentioned, this is something that you saw from afar, and here it is coming to you, at least in the form of an evacuation order. For the folks at home who might be impacted by these evacuation orders, some of the best practices we've heard from, for instance, Supervisor Horvath, are to leave a note on the door, to leave the door unlocked. That makes people feel uneasy about leaving their home in that way in light of potential...
Maybe those are just embers that happen to move like they're being intelligently controlled.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
This might be truth hidden in plain sight. I wonder how much money they got from the Pentagon to make Leave the World Behind.
What is that?
Go through the other side.
Goes up high.
can't really tell if this is coming from the sky or from the ground. It could just be a spotlight, but I know they don't have any parties planned anytime soon, so I don't know. The devil works hard, but the parking warden works harder.
Can help you.
Okay.
You just take it down. It's not even half a mile.
Okay.
This is an Amazon delivery guy delivering packages in LA as the entire city burns down. Yeah, you see this blue box with the yellow stripes? The same box is pictured here. They are Amazon boxes. This is absolute insanity. But no worries, Amazon is on it. How a U.S. Marine works to keep Amazon employees safe during weather and natural disasters. They got data on data to analyze how wildfire smoke would impact geographic regions unlike ever before, and they'll overnight hundreds of thousands of N95 masks and additional air scrubbers to the sites beforehand. Is this guy wearing one? It's hard to tell. I don't think he is. It looks like some kind of bandana. Anyway, they'll also provide the intelligence these guys need. Intelligence, quote unquote, evacuation routes and all. So they can make sure those important packages are delivered. Because guess what? Jeff Bezos, he doesn't want an entrenched workforce. That would be a, quote, march to mediocrity. And current Amazon CEO Andy Jassy tweeted this morning that he is incredibly sad to see the devastating impact of the Los Angeles wildfires, and he's thinking of everyone in Los Angeles right now. Except probably not about this guy. Because Mr. Jassy is too busy cozying up to his new friends in Hollywood.
Hopefully these are disaster relief items, because if not, then Jeff Bezos has no conscience.
Okay, you guys don't even know what kind of video I just watched. I'm in LA right now, so there's a fire once again on the Hollywood Hills where the Runyon is, where all the expensive houses are, okay? Now this car is driving through, ambers are flying, okay? Fire everywhere, okay? They're driving, they see 4 Armenian dudes. Now these dudes are walking like they're the Avengers. Okay, very confident, Louis book bags over across the chest. The person in the car is like, guys, come inside, come into the car. They go, they look back, they just keep walking. The person rides up a little closer. They go, guys, come on, come inside the car. They go, brother, relax, and just keep walking. The person's like, guys, I mean, it's not a big deal. Just come into the car. You guys are gonna get hurt. They go, achbe, relax, like that, with a little. Once you get hit, listen, if these guys hit that dude with a third relax, I mean, the person in the car would have probably woke up on vacation. You know what I'm trying to say? I just really want to know what those guys are up to, and I think I might want to join them.
I don't think you want to join them on that sketchy mission, bro. That probably won't end well for you. And again, it could just be an ember, but it looks like UFO activity is at an all-time high in LA right now.
This is, where are we even? Like, what the? Oh, that's on purpose. That's on purpose.
As you guys saw from that video, it looks like a fire was intentionally set in Koreatown in California. Look at all the fires now. This is insane. This is like 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. First, I want to say thoughts and prayers go to all these people, anyone who is in that area and who is being affected. I hope they make it out with their pets and everything safely. But the magnitude of this is just extremely crazy now. I know embers can travel so far, right? I don't want to start conspiracies, but this is kind of weird. I want to know your all's thoughts in the comments down below.
This fire kind of reminds me of the great fires that a lot of major cities experienced in the past that caused them to have to rebuild everything. It's giving great reset energy.
Look behind me. Both of these scenes are happening at the same exact time. This is Texas, this is Los Angeles. The whole earth is going crazy right now, and I'm about to prove it. By the way, regardless what you say, none of this is normal. God said he put the heavenly bodies in the sky to tell us about times, dates, and seasons. 3 blood moons are coming this year. And in just the first week of this year alone, we've had the Cybertruck, we've had the New Orleans, we've had mass casualty events, and the history-breaking LA fire. Yes, it's the biggest one in history. But see, speaking of these times, dates, and seasons, right now we have a once in 100 lifetimes to see this Atlas meteor going through the sky. For the next few days, while all this stuff goes on right now. The same way we saw the Devil's Comet the same time as the eclipse and the Devil's Comet over Portugal when all that crazy stuff in Spain was happening. It's almost like all the things in the sky are for times, dates, and seasons. By the way, this dude is walking down the street and this fire randomly started right in front of him.
Fire just started here randomly? Dude,
The glasses, everything connects. Look at this article. Everything in this world connects. I mean, look at this right here. Earth is quite literally going crazy. Hyper-negatives happening just hundreds of miles away from each other.
This is either one of the most incredible times in human history to be alive to witness all this stuff, or the worst time to be alive. I'm still trying to decide.
People are outraged at this news reporter after it was secretly shown that he was hiding clothespins to make his clothes fit tighter and look better on him while reporting on people's homes and property burning to the ground. You get a better look at it here with one clothespin and two clothespins, all to make him look as attractive as possible. I mean, that reporter literally pulled a Homer Simpson on live TV and thought he was getting away with it. Honestly, I think focusing on making yourself look good instead of helping people when they're in desperate need is absolutely despicable, but that's my opinion.
It's a huge natural disaster happening right now. I don't think anybody will notice that your jacket is fitting a little loose. This is not the time to be looks maxing. But that was the video, guys. Before I get out of here, just know everything in this video is purely speculation, and we really need to send our thoughts and prayers out to everybody in California right now. With that being said, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.